Hello, I'm Erin and I'll be guiding you through this part of the PowerPoint today. As you can see on your screen, we'll be covering the topic of economic growth for the course Introduction to Macroeconomics. The course code is, as you can see, Econ 1007NE, and our supervisor or professor is Mr. Mohammed Mazumder. Let's proceed with the next slide. Here we have a list of our group members who worked on this assignment. The contribution part is still empty at the moment and will be filled out soon. Here is our table of contents. First of all, we will have a quick overview where we will quickly skim through the topic of economic growth. Once that is done, our group members will take turns providing different real-world examples of economic growth. During this section, we'll be further discussing the images we used in the first part of the assignment, which was the photo essay. Once we go through the examples, we will reach the end of our presentation where we will provide you, the viewer or viewers, the sources we use to support our claims in APA format. Now then, let's get this started with. We're now coming to the first part of our presentation. Here I'll be answering the following questions. What is economic growth? What constitutes it? How do we measure it? Let's answer all those questions now, shall we? So, what is economic growth? According to Investopedia, economic growth is an increase in the production of economic goods and services compared to the one period of time to another. I don't think it can get more straightforward than that. Now then, what constitutes economic growth? Well, some of the factors include physical capital good, technology, labor force, human capital, etc. Now then, if I'm not wrong, the examples my group members and I will be discussing later on in this PowerPoint does touch upon some of the factors I just listed. We'll just have to wait and see how they play a role in economic growth, I guess. As to how we measure it, one of the most common methods is through the gross domestic product, also known as the GDP. Another group member will be covering that later on, so I'll be leaving it as it is. We are now getting to the second part of our presentation, real-world examples of economic growth. This section ties in with the first part of our assignment, which consists of us creating photo essays. I'll be temporarily taking my leave, but I will join again soon. Now then, I'll give the stage to the first member of the group, Steve.
Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Malcolm Rogers and I'm here to talk about how remote working has been greatly influenced how greatly it has been contributing towards the economic growth. So remote working actually came into existence and became more popular during the year of 2019. So during 2019, the outbreak of coronavirus forced the entire world to shut down. The entire world was under quarantine and people were not allowed to go out. So this is when remote working came into the trend and everyone started to work from their home. So from 2019 to the current year, remote working has been greatly influencing the economic growth for both the employers and for the employees. So some of the major factors that remote working contributes to the economic growth are first and the foremost factor is cost saving, and it also it also reduces the environmental pollution. So yeah, cost saving. So when as an employee, so by working remotely I can work from my home. I need not travel every day up and down to the company, and so it reduces pollution, it reduces it reduces my cost of travel, etc. So, and as an employer I need not pay rent for the building, I need not pay for the office space and electricity bill and etc. So this benefits both the employees and for the employer. So it is greatly it helps in cost saving, and the second major factor is wider range. The employees have a wider talent pool, so the employers can hire people from any part of the world. And they don't have restrictions to hire people only from their region of residence. So the employees now through remote working can hire people from any different part of the world, since everyone is working remotely and can work from anywhere and can work from literally anywhere from any part of the world. So this helps the employers to hire people with great skills, great talent, so that their productivity, and it helps them to increase their productivity, it helps them to strengthen their manforce and workforce. So the employees are not restricted with the employees are not restricted with the employees only who are located in their region of residence. So they are like given access to hire people from different like different part of the country. And the third region is the third important point is like work-life balance. So the employees are able to enjoy the work-life balance by working remotely. Like they can they can allocate time with their family, being with their family. They can work with being with their family as well, so they can get family time, the me time where personal space is available. So work life balance has been greatly influenced, has been like greatly improved by remote working. So people are able to enjoy themselves while working. They're not stressed out. So work life balance greatly contributes to the longevity of an employer to work more and more. So work-life balance is greatly developed through remote working. So this encourages the employees to work for a longer period of time, so it eventually contributes for the economic development. So, and the third one is like increased productivity. So when an employer, when he is working remotely, he is like able to increase his productivity when it comes to his work. So rather than going to an office, like he can save traveling time up and down. So and also like he can also avoid many kind of distractions by working remotely. So it increases the productivity. So this helps the increase in productivity helps the overall growth of the country, overall growth of the company, or whatsoever. So this overall growth and increased productivity will indirectly help in developing the economic growth. So this is how remote working greatly helps greatly influences the economic development in recent years. These are some of the points like that I've highlighted, but there are many other amazing factors and benefits that remote working contributes to the economy. So yeah, thank you. I would like to end my session. Thank you.
I am back once again. This time I'll be covering the real-world example of public transportation. To get this started with, I'll give you a brief introduction to public transportation in the city of Brampton. In the city of Brampton, there are two main public bus transit systems, Brampton Transit and Zoom. Brampton Transit was founded in 1974 and opened its rapid transit system, Zoom, in 2010. With the introduction of public transportation services like Zoom and its parent operator, Brampton Transit, the ease of traveling from point A to point B has been facilitated. Now then, you might be wondering, how does public transportation aid in economic growth? Well, with today's modern technology, residents have access to applications which can inform them of the amount of time needed for the buses to arrive at whichever station they deem fit. With accurate bus timings for each bus stop, it allows students to get to their classes on time and laborers to get to their work on time. This helps support economic growth as students are able to invest in their future by getting educated, and it supports laborers as it allows them to be productive. As a result, the productivity of the labor force will be unaffected, as they will not be late for their work. With technology like this, people can properly and precisely organize their schedules so that they can be as efficient as possible. As you can see on the side, I've provided a small circular chart. Believe it or not, our economy is growing. With that growth, we see an improvement in technology. As I just discussed earlier, with modern technology, we now have applications available to give us real-time information on how far the buses are and how long it takes for them to arrive at the bus stop of our choosing. This greatly aids us in getting to and from places efficiently and on time, thus affecting our productivity positively. Productivity then leads to further economic growth, thus making a full circle. Now then, let's go to the next slide. There are many benefits that come out of public transportation. For one, it not only saves our money, but also the government's money by reducing the number of carbon emissions, thus helping the environment. Not only does it save the government money by helping the environment, it also reduces the economic cost of traffic collisions. Furthermore, with the use of modern technology, using public transportation is now easy and more efficient to use than ever, thus aiding in the labor force's productivity. Not only does it help the labor force in its productivity, but it also aids the labor market by providing jobs to other people. As I've mentioned before, Zoom was available to the public in 2010. So I took this opportunity to go over some of the City of Brampton's annual report 2010 to see if there had been any changes to the economy. Suffice it to say, I am glad to have found some useful information that now I'll be sharing. Since the launch of Zoom, the overall ridership increased by more than 12%, growing 4 times the national average. In total, 13.8 million riders used Brampton Transit in 2010, which is an increase of more than 1.5 million riders from the previous year. Furthermore, there was a $43 million increase in Brampton Transit revenues. In 2010, public transit held 19.54% and transportation services held 18.42% of consolidated expense. When added together, it totaled to 37.96%. On the other hand, in 2021, transportation services held 46.02% of the consolidated expense. The increase from 2010, when Zoom was first launched, to 2021 shows that public transportation and other transportation services do impact the economy overall. Moving on, according to 2021 Brampton Annual Report, Brampton Transit has moved nearly 20 million people. Furthermore, a total of $33 million has increased in user charges. Well then, that is from my side. I will now pass it over to Akhil to discuss his real-world example of economic growth.
We have all, at some point in our lives, considered, is education really important for me? How much of value or benefit is it going to add to me? Well, my name is Akhil, and today I'm going to talk to you about how education could contribute towards economic prosperity of a country. Initially, to begin with a famous saying that I would like to quote from the previous President of the United States, Barack Obama. With increased globalization around us, in order to compete, having a good educational background is no longer an opportunity to success, but instead it is something we nowadays need to already have behind us in order to qualify to compete within this global economy. Now, let us take a look at this term, human capital investments. Human capital of a nation refers to the economic benefits, or rather value, that an individual's knowledge, experience and skill could add to an economy. And expenditure on these areas by the government or even private institutions is known as human capital investments. Investments in this area could take by the form of training being provided by the government, free schools being built, universities being put up, colleges, and any sort of expansion even undertaken by the private sector of an economy. And also it should be most importantly noted that ceteris paribus, once an individual obtains education or training provided, he or she would then go out to the economy and be recruited or employ themselves in jobs depending on their level of education or depending on the degree of human capital investments undertaken, and therefore once these people start working, they would contribute to the GDP of a nation. Next, let us have a look at this term GDP, or in other words, what gross domestic product means. As the name says it all, gross itself means total and domestic means home or within a border, and product refers to goods and services. So in a nutshell, GDP could be defined as the total money value of goods and services produced in a nation. And mind you, by goods I mean those that are tangible, which can be seen to the naked eye, touched or felt. Examples could be cars, mobile devices and laptops. And on the other hand, services are those that are intangible, which we cannot see, touch or feel. Examples would be accountancy, the healthcare sector and education. Finally, let us put it all together now and see how education contributes towards economic growth. As mentioned earlier, human capital investments by the government would increase the level of knowledge and skill possessed by citizens in a country. Therefore, When individuals are more qualified and more productive and efficient, their ability to choose from a variety of jobs now increases, assuming ceteris paribus. Therefore, once these individuals have found jobs and start working in various industries, they would contribute to the total value of goods and services, or in other words, the GDP of a nation. And as we have mentioned earlier, economic growth refers to the increase in the total value of goods and services produced in a nation. Therefore, we can see how education would bring all the pieces together and help contribute towards economic growth. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bhavish and this is my student ID. So today I'm going to talk about how does the construction industry contributes towards economic growth. So construction industry has been an important contributor to the economic growth throughout the history, creating job opportunities and improving infrastructures. Despite challenges such as pandemic, there are still opportunities for the industry to support economic recovery through sustainable policies and investment in green infrastructures. So I'm going to cover four ways of how construction industry leads to growth of economy. First of all, job creation, improves infrastructures, attracts investment and improves quality of life. Construction helps create jobs by providing employment opportunities for a wide range of professionals, including architects, engineers, construction workers, and support staff. Construction projects involve labor-intensive process which requires a significant workforce, therefore contributing greatly to employment rates. Additionally, construction projects create indirect jobs in related industries such as manufacturing, transportation, and retail. The construction sector is also a significant contributor to economic growth, accounting for almost 9% of GDP growth and providing around 18 million job opportunities globally. The construction of new infrastructures and building great assets can contribute to the economy long-term growth and development. As mentioned earlier, overall, construction plays a crucial role in job creation and economic growth. There is a strong relationship between the construction of infrastructures and economic development. Infrastructure such as roads, highways, bridges, airports, seaports, and public transportation provides essential support for economic activity. Investing in infrastructures can lead to economic growth in several ways. Firstly, it can make it easier for people and goods to move around, which can increase economic activity by reducing transport costs and increasing market access. This can help businesses to expand their markets and improve their supply chains, leading to increased productivity and profitability. Secondly, infrastructure creates jobs and stimulate economic activity directly. The construction of infrastructure projects often require a significant amount of labor, which can create jobs and income for local communities. Additionally, infrastructure can attract new businesses and industries to an area, creating new employment and opportunities. Thirdly, infrastructure can improve quality of life for people in region, making it more attractive for people to live and work. This can encourage businesses and people to invest in the area, leading to further economic growth. Investing in construction infrastructures plays a vital role in attracting foreign investment for several reasons. Firstly, modern infrastructure such as highways, airports, and seaports reduces transportation costs, which in turn lowers the production cost of businesses. Secondly, a favorable business environment with streamlined regulation, low taxes, and easy access to financing makes it more attractive for foreign investors to start or expand their existing businesses in a particular country. In summary, investing in construction infrastructures improves the overall business and environment of a country, making it more attractive destination for foreign investors. Increased standard of living can attract skilled workers in several ways. When individuals have access to better healthcare, education, and infrastructures, they are more likely to be healthy and well educated, which can lead to increased job opportunities and high salaries, and hence contributing to economic growth. Additionally, in better infrastructures and public facilities can make a city or region more attractive to live in, encourages skilled workers to relocate. And when people have access to higher standard of living, they are more likely to consume more goods and services for several reasons. Firstly, a higher standard of living means that people have more disposable income to spend on non-essential items. This can lead to increased spending on luxury goods such as high-end clothing, electronics, and travel. So these were the ways of how the good infrastructures and investing in construction sites contributes towards the growth of economy. I hope this was helpful for you and thank you.
Hi, my name is Lakush Singh. I'm going to speak about importance of libraries. Libraries are a component of a facility that makes city dynamic and appealing. A library can be very appealing as more and more individuals express a desire to live in metropolitan areas with easy access facilities. Moreover, expenditure and investment rise together with an increasing population via their tools and database. Libraries are so offer crucial resources to owner of small business. In fact, study development information market entry cost plummet, lowering the entrance barrier for small business owners. Libraries themselves are sources of employment in addition to helping the general public with job searches and resumes. It goes without saying that libraries need personnel in order to perform all of their amazing risk tasks. Libraries support the economy in a different, more concentrated by creating jobs in the neighborhood. It is evident that libraries play a significant role in economic development in addition to offering their users fantastic content. And even if the function of the library changes, developing to include more digital resources and adjusting to past pandemic environment.
Hi guys, my name is Max, and today I would like to talk about the relationship between economic growth and skyscrapers. As we all know, skyscrapers are tall buildings that have come to symbolize modern cities around the world. They serve as a testament to human achievement and progress, and have become an integral part of our urban landscape. But have you ever stopped to think about the impact that these structures have on our economy? So here's a British economist who is called Lawrence, researched the skyscraper effect for 13 years, and his findings show a worrying trend. The skyscraper effect is a phenomenon in which construction of skyscrapers is followed by an economic downturn. This may seem counterintuitive, as one might assume that the construction of such impressive buildings would be a sign of economic prosperity. However, history has shown us time and time again that this is not always the case. For example, the Great Depression, which started in the early 1930s, immediately followed the completion of the Empire State Building in 1931. The building, which stood at 1,250 feet, was the world's tallest building at the time. This demonstrates the importance of caution when investing in such projects and the potential risks of over-optimism and speculation in the property market. We must learn from these mistakes of the past and be mindful of the impact that such construction projects can have on our economy. It is essential that we approach such ventures with caution and undertake thorough research.
Hi, I am back one last time to guide you, the viewer or viewers, to the end of our presentation. Many of us have done extensive research into our examples, and we wish to give credit to the sources that provided us with the information to support our points. Here are our references in APA format. There's nothing much to do here, so let's get this over with. We have now reached the end of our presentation. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for sticking this far. We would like to give credit to SlidesGo for providing the public with awesome PowerPoint themes to choose from. Once again, thank you for watching and have a great day.